tips I'd like to share with you first, and then we'll actually go through the form together just briefly and cover some of the sort of key points there. Because we do hope that we'll get some of you ladies here will feel like you meet the criteria and want to apply. So yeah, just as a reminder again, we've got the deadline is 31st July, so it's not too long away, but you still have time. And that's end of Sunday. So just as long as you apply by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, that will be all good. And I'm just sharing those same links in the chat as well. And we can also share these slides with you after. Great. So I think if you could move to the next slide, please, Rishika. So just starting with some general tips, I think Rishika's already mentioned, but just in case, I'm just going to reiterate that we really do encourage women and youth to apply for this group. So if you're a young woman, even better. And we also really encourage people to apply as teams. So that's why when we say the lead applicant must complete the form, that's I guess like you acting as a team leader for this program. You can be a team of just one. You can be, running your own solo business, and we definitely welcome you. However, if you do have other people that you are working on your business with, like you have business partners or something, then please do apply together because we do have a preference for that. We think that it will be helpful for you to work together on your business plan and pitch. Okay, so we have some application guidelines, which I will very briefly show you. So please review those before you do apply. But just to make sure, we want to make sure that one, the program is a good fit for you, it's right for you. And then also that, you are right for our program. So it works both ways. So before that, just to make sure you do read those and realize that what you're committing to, which is basically what Rishika has said. So it is a Google form which needs to be completed online, but don't worry if for some reason, sometimes the internet drops out. Just wanted to point out that the Google form should have automatically sort of retains the information you've already put in. So if you've put in some information and then the internet cuts out and you're worried you have to start again, you shouldn't need to. If you go back to that link, it already have your what you've already done there. Now, there are some text questions you need to write an answer, but we want to say, please do be brief, be short in your answers, but also as specific as you can, but just with a few words if you can. With the Google form, we have to put the maximum number of characters, not words, that you can enter for those text answers. So please make sure we say, some of them say 500 characters, some of them say 750 characters. It may sound a lot, but actually it's not a lot of words. It's about, I think 500 characters is around 70 to 100 words, which is maybe a few sentences. So you can either write a few bullet points or a few sentences as the maximum. So we're not asking for long essays, just a few points about your business. Sorry, could we have someone to mute, please? Okay, great. What we recommend is just in case, internet drops out or something like that, it's still better to keep a copy of your answers somewhere else. So prepare your text answers beforehand. And I'll show you, you can access the offline version of the application form first so you can see what the questions are, prepare your answers, and then go into the form and copy and paste. That's what we recommend. You don't have to do it that way, but we recommend it. And yeah, please do bear in mind, we don't expect you to have perfect, polished answers. We want to see who you are and what your business is, and we want to see how passionate you are about your business. No doubt you're all very passionate about why you started your business, right? So try to show us who you are in your application and be yourself. Another tip is there are some things that are optional. Like you can give us for example, your social media accounts if you have a business social media, or you might have a LinkedIn, or you might like to. We also have you can upload a video. recommend that you do take advantage of those optional things and give us as much information about you and your business as you can that you think is relevant. We will actually definitely read and watch and do all those things as part of the selection process. So if you give us more, we will look at more. And another point is because we do get this question, can you, I've submitted the form, I need to make some changes. You can still do that. So once you have submitted the Google form, you will get an email automatically to the email you've put in, which has a link so that you can see the answers that you've put in, your responses. And if you click on that email, you'll be able to bring it up and make some edits. We don't have that, so we can't send it to you, but you can edit it that way. And if for some reason, sometimes that email may go to your junk email box if you're looking for it. Okay, and next slide, please. So I think just before we go to the actual form, just mention a few documents that you should have on hand beforehand so that you can just easily fill the form at one go without having to stop too much. We would need a government or official ID, which is a picture, an image, which could be something like your passport or your driver's license or your voter's registration or a student ID, like an official ID, just showing your name and your it should be probably your picture too, if possible. The second thing that's mandatory to upload is your team photo, or if you like photos, you can upload up to 3, but 1 is mandatory. So what we would really like to see is if you already have a business logo, upload a photo of that, because what we will use these team photos for is we will use it to promote your business on our website and on our social media. So whatever you would like to show there, ideally a business logo, as well as a photo showing your team, which could be you or could be a number of people, and perhaps holding your products or developing your products or something like that. Now the third one, if your business is registered, which you don't have to have a registered business to join the program, but if it is registered, then please also upload your business registration certificate. Now there's a couple of optional other attachments you can upload as well. So I mentioned this 1-minute video. If you would like to do so, we recommend that you just take a short time to explain your green business or the green business idea if you haven't yet started the business, and explain why you're passionate about it, what problem you're trying to solve, and how it's going to benefit the environment or the community or country that you're working in, Fiji, I guess. And that can be another good way of showing us who you are and being yourself. And then the other optional thing is we do have a spot for you if you feel like there's other relevant documents that you've got for your business that you want to share with us. If, for example, it might be like you already have some brochures, like soft copy brochures that you want to share with us, or some flyers, or maybe you already have an initial business plan or something that you've already been doing with AWE, you feel like it's relevant to upload, you could do so if you like. Okay, I think maybe can we move to the next slide? I think that's the end of the slides, and then maybe I'll just pause quickly to see if we have any questions about that before we move into the application form. We'll also share with you like our email and details that you can contact us at later. Just briefly, are there any questions? I don't think I saw any questions in the chat yet. But if not, then perhaps I'll ask Rashika if you could stop sharing your screen and I'll move to the Google form. Thank you. Okay, give me a second as I bring that up.
Hi, Esther. Can I just ask a question, please?
Sure, go ahead.
Will there be any sessions on Saturdays?
No, I think we actually did get this question from somebody as well. And no, we're not planning to run any sessions on Saturdays.
Thank you.
No worries. And I think, sorry, I'm not very good at multitasking. So let me just try to bring up the other, here we go. I think that should be coming up now. But I did also want to mention that, so our program is, across 6 countries. So it is a regional program, but we also have, some of the kickoff workshop will be at the country level. So you'll get to meet your fellow, country Fijian cohorts, and establish a relationship with them, meet your mentors in Fiji, and you'll also have local support from our local coach and facilitator and some group coaching sessions. And there will also be regional sessions, which we find is a really good blend, because you learn a lot from the people obviously in Fiji who are in similar business context to you, but you will also learn a lot from people in other countries who might be doing similar businesses to you in similar areas, but in a different country context. And we're finding even some from people from last year might be like working together or getting ideas from each other. So we feel it's a good combination of the two. Okay, so sorry, I do tend to talk a little bit too much, so I'm just going to go quickly into the application form. So first thing I will say is it may look long, but I would recommend that, or I would, just want to make you feel that it shouldn't be, hopefully we don't want it to be scary. So you'll find that it may look long, but actually there's a lot of things that are very, very simple answers or drop down boxes. So there's not that much that you need to write in as text. So yeah, as mentioned, the applications close end of July. It's this Sunday. I did mention that you should refer to a few documents first. So the application guidelines, in fact, so I've pre-filled this form. I should start to say that just so it's quicker to show you. But before you can go any further, we want you to acknowledge and so that you have read the application guidelines, which I have pre-opened. You can see the link here, but I've pre-opened here. It covers a lot of what Rishika has already spoken about. But just go through in your own time and make sure that you understand, especially in terms of being committed to the program and that kind of thing. So that's there. And once you've done that, there's some other, we have the, sorry, I should have also mentioned the offline application form that I mentioned. If you want to, we recommend you prepare your answers first. Please, you cannot submit this one. So this is only for reference and preparing your answers ahead of time if you like. It looks a bit ugly, I'm afraid. It's not very, doesn't come out very well, but the questions will all be the same, and you can just, for example, if there is a text answer, you might want to prepare that first. Okay, great. So then we'll ask you to confirm a few things, which is basically kind of what Rishika's already mentioned with, who we're looking for with a greenpreneur. So I won't go through that now, but please do read through as you confirm before you apply. So then the first real section is just details of the lead applicant. So as mentioned, lead applicant, if you are, the sole person running your business, the sole owner and founder, then that's, this is you, or it's the team leader if you're in a group. So this is just a few basic questions about that lead name. I think that's pretty clear. So what I'll just show you here would be how to upload documents, because some people have asked that. So here, see the first one I mentioned, we need to, I'm sorry, we didn't actually put that in the documents list. Sorry, that was my fault. But we do need a copy of your CV or resume. It doesn't have to be just whatever your latest CV or resume is. Apologies that it was missing from the slide. So let's pretend that, we haven't done that yet. Yeah, we'll need to click on add file here. And please note, we've put the details of how you can upload something in brackets. So when we say a document, that generally means like a Word document, or could be Google Docs, or a PDF version. And just do take note of the file size limits as well. So you just go add file. You can upload, drag files or select from your device. As I've just already had it here, I'm just going to pretend that this is my CV, which obviously it's not, but I'll just do that for this point. So yeah, similarly, that's the same way you would upload any other attachments that you might need as well. So below we see the government issued ID that was mentioned. So I think these next three sections are probably the ones I'll spend a bit more time talking about. So your green enterprise snapshot. So here we really want to know about your green business. And as Rashika mentioned, I'm not sure if it was clear for all of you. I know for me it was dropping in out a little bit. So I'll just reiterate that for us, a green enterprise is any business that is not just for profit, but you have a focus on impact, on either making a positive environmental impact or a social impact, or both in your community, your country. So it's quite broad. Yeah, so we just want to know some basic information, like the name of your business. I have created a completely fictional company based in Port Vila just before this call yesterday, actually. And it's an upcycling jewelry business. So the first one I'll mention is just to say that you have to choose a drop down of which is the category that best suits your business would best fit into. So in my case, it's a business that's taking old plastic bottles and recycling them into jewelry or other gifts. So I would choose handicrafts and creative arts. This next question, in one sentence, describe your green business and the problem you're solving for customers. So this is what we would actually use to go with your photo to promote your business, whether it's on our website or on social media. So just make it really short and what you would actually want other people externally to see about your business. So here I've just written, like, gorgeous upcycling is the name of the business, creates unique upcycled handmade jewelry and gifts from plastic bottles with a unique Pacific flair. Great. As mentioned, you don't have to have your enterprise formally registered to apply, but if it's yes, I'm just going to say no, because if it's yes, then you should also add the registration certificate here. Great. So you have a bit more information, like, do you already have employees in your business or not? And this will not, either way, it's not going to impact on whether you'll be selected. But we just want to gather a bit more information on your business. So just give us the real situation of your business, and that would be great. Great. So yeah, here you can enter your social media as mentioned, and your team photo is mandatory. Here it's optional to add your 1-minute video and other documents, as I had previously mentioned. Okay, so that was more on like what's your business details. Now we want to, this section, green focus, we have a few questions. We want to understand more about what is the problem or the issue you're trying to solve for the environment or the society, right? Because we say a green business is going to plans to make a positive impact on either your environment or your society, or your community. So this is where you can explain that to us. So firstly, some of these questions do overlap a bit, so don't worry. We've kind of designed it that way just to try to get to understand a bit more, because we found that sometimes everyone has great ideas and it's very passionate, but sometimes it's hard for us to understand just from the form. So we've purposely put in a few questions to ask similar things, but not exactly the same. So the first question is, what environmental or social issue are you addressing? And be as specific as you can, rather than saying something like, I want to solve climate change, or I want to reduce waste. Try to say a bit more specifically, what it is in your community or your country that you're trying to reduce. So here, by the way, I'm not saying there's 100% great answers either, but because I just did it quite quickly. But here I'm saying that this person's business is really trying to decrease the amount of waste or plastic waste going to landfill, and stop people using plastic, or reduce the use of plastic. And also on the social side, they also identified that high youth unemployment in their community, and they want to provide meaningful jobs. So there's kind of there might be a few different problems that you're trying to solve which are related, or it might just be one. And then the next one is, why are you passionate about this? Because no doubt if you've started your business in this way, you're very passionate about it. So we just want to know from you, why do you care so much about this particular issue? Maybe it's because you see too much plastic all the time, or you realize, or you love the ocean and you're seeing that there's too much plastic in the ocean, whatever it is. Please do tell us, show us, why you care. And then tell us how will your business, if it's successful, how will you actually be solving this environmental or social issue? So like, what activities are you going to do through your business that will lead to this change that you want to see? So in this case, what I'm saying is, this example is saying there's probably three ways to do it. They will actually be reducing the amount of plastic waste, diverting it from landfill, because they'll be collecting plastic bottles, making it into jewelry and selling it rather than throwing it into landfill. They're also saying, well, they'll employ young women from the community, which is going to address that, social issue of youth unemployment and potentially gangs and problems. So that's another way that the business is going to do that. And also, they also want to educate customers and raise awareness in the community to avoid using single-use plastics and reducing waste, maybe repurposing some plastics as well. So that's the 3 points. And also the second part of the question is, what changes will happen if you're successful? So again, be as specific as you can. If successful, maybe you'll divert thousands of plastic bottles from the landfill, giving youth meaningful employment, and community members will also change their behavior and reduce plastic consumption. So brief but concise. No longer than that. That's already quite a long answer. We also want to know, are you, because many people running social businesses are specifically either supporting or employing people from more marginalized or vulnerable groups. For example, people in remote or rural areas who find less chances for livelihoods, or women and youth, or people with disabilities and all that. So please do tell us if you are. Tick the relevant boxes, and then the question below asks you to describe how are you working with those groups. And if you aren't, if you tick my enterprise does not apply, then you can just write NA. It's a mandatory question, but you can just put in NA, it's fine. Great, okay, and then the next question is about your business growth. So the first question here, again, I'll explain a little bit, which of the following stages represents your business currently? So in this case, I've selected just started, but it could be that, you've got an idea, you haven't really had a chance yet to develop any, samples. That would be the first stage. If you maybe develop some samples, if you've given them to friends and family, maybe you're getting some feedback from them, that would be the second stage, more like product development, having a demo products and customer research. Just started is, well, you are starting to sell, but maybe it's still at probably quite a small scale. Maybe you're selling at markets, or maybe you're selling online through Facebook, but maybe just as a small scale. Scaling up, well, that's if you've grown and you feel like you're definitely growing your business. And then temporarily close is, sadly, because of COVID, we know a lot of businesses have closed. Hopefully now that's not the case. Great. We ask you to also enter just on a range in US dollars of what your sales revenue, so your sales or your turnover, whatever you want to call it, how much have you sold on average per year. So please do convert to US dollars. We had to use US dollars because this form is for multiple countries, so that's why we can't put $50. And this one's really important. We do want to know, like, where do you see your business growing from now? Like, how ambitious are you for your business? So we ask you, think about, like, in 1 year's time, where do you think your business can get to, and where would you like it to be? And 5 years from now, in a longer term, where do you want to see your business? In this case, I've been quite specific. I've said in 1 year, maybe sell the products in 3 gift shops of resorts in Vanuatu, and employ 2 more people, and rescue 1,000 plastic bottles from landfill. And similarly, sort of similar kind of targets for 5 years, but of course much larger. So if you can be as specific like that, that would be really fantastic. We want to see, where are you planning to go? Great. So I will go quite quickly in the next ones. Entrepreneurial mindset. We want to see, what you would like to get out of being part of this incubator program. So please, there's a few questions on that. Let us know what you're really looking for, so we can make sure that it's tailored to you. And this section, additional team members, as mentioned, if you have other people in your team, that's where we need some basic details for each of them. You can have up to 5 people in your team who are like co-founders or business partners, co-owners with you. So if you don't have other people in your team, and we don't include staff members in that. So if you're a solo businesswoman, then that's great. And you can just say no here. And if you say no, then scroll all the way to the bottom here and just go to the next page. If you do have additional partners, then we just need a little bit of basic information on their names, emails and that kind of thing for each of them. Okay, then we have a few brief questions. Are you part of other training programs? I guess in this case, for you ladies, you would be saying yes, because you're part of the AWE. And we also ask, have you, as a personally or your business, been part of legal proceedings? If so, just let us know. So has anyone brought a court case against you? If so, that's fine. Just explain what that is about. Then a few basic questions. How did you hear about the program and that kind of thing? And there's also a free text. If you feel like there's something about your business that the questions didn't give you a chance to say, and you want to say something else, then please feel free to add that in here. And then finally, I'll just mention on personal data. This is something that we take very seriously. So we know that you're providing us a lot of information on your business. So we are very careful to be responsible with that information. So we have a small selection panel who'll be reviewing each application that's considered eligible for the program. But everyone who is given access to your information will have to sign a declaration of confidentiality and will not be able to use any of your personal, any of the data you provided. They won't be able to steal your idea and set up a new business on their own. So just wanted to mention that we do take that very seriously. So that's the end of the form. When you do submit, you should get a notification saying, form is submitted or something like that, and also an email, which I had previously mentioned.